The most common issue with French press coffee is this: a sludgy, disgusting, unpleasant mess left at the bottom of your mug. The drink is cloudy, it's sludgy, and ultimately it's not very pleasant. And the solution for a clear, pleasant, sludge-free brew is probably simpler than you realise, and it's a mistake you probably didn't even know you were making.
It's all about me.
To fix it, we need to understand what the problem is. Now there's two main culprits. One is a coffee grind which is a bit too fine, and two, getting a little bit too excited with the plunger. So firstly, let's just talk about the grind. Now I've got mine, I've just popped some little filter here, but you want it quite fine, not as fine as you would for an espresso or maybe for your V60 filter. And I know some people go overly coarse when you're using the French press. Now I don't like to do that. I like to go quite fine, but not overly fine where we're talking espresso standards. Now I'm going to brew 11 grams of coffee for about 250 ml of water. I'm going to go in with our coffee. Get it all in there. And then in with our boiling water. Right up to around about the 250 ml mark on here. Now you don't need to be as careful with this as you would do if you're using your V60 filter. Just pour it in and leave it to set. Now you'll see straight away the coffee starts to float up and it'll form this lovely crust across the top, which is going to keep the coffee warm whilst we wait for it to brew, which is going to be about 4 minutes. Okay, our 4 minutes have now passed, and as you can see, we've got this lovely crust formed on top of the coffee, and the water's starting to brew. You can few little bits which are now just starting to fall down. But what we want to do, we want to break this crust up now, so we're going to give the coffee a bit of a stir. Now you might find there's a few little grim bits on top, so we're just going to scoop them off using that spoon. Try not to make a mess, because my wife will shout at me. You can see just the kind of stuff what starting to scoop out. Let's give it another bit of a stir. And now we need to exercise a little bit of patience, because you've brewed the coffee and you're like, right, okay, I'm done. But the coffee's going to be too hot to drink anyway. So we're going to leave it sitting here for another 5 minutes. And that's just going to allow all these little bits which are still spinning around in that coffee to settle lovely at the bottom. And that's it, the 5 minutes are up. We've waited patiently whilst our coffee and our French press does its work. And hopefully all that coffee now is starting to settle right at the bottom. Now what we don't want to do here is we don't want to make the mistake that lots of people do, and they get very excited with the plunger and they plunge it straight down to the bottom, and all that's going to do is it's just going to stir up all that coffee that we've worked so hard to get settled at the bottom. So we're going to go in with a plunger and we're going to just take it nice and steady. And we don't want to go all the way. We're just going to go a little over halfway with the plunger, about there. And again, we've got to be really patient and really careful. So when we pour the coffee, we again don't stir up all this mess at the bottom. So we're going to pour it in gently. I can already see it's a really clear brew so far. Our plunger is now acting as a strainer. All that sludge is hopefully staying at the bottom, and we've got a really clear cup of coffee. I don't know if you can see that very well, but there you go. See all the sludge at the bottom staying in our French press. And here I've got a full cup of coffee, which is hopefully going to taste not only delicious, but it's going to be clear and it's going to be sludge free. Well, first up, it definitely is delicious. I'm going to have to drink all this to show you it's sludge free, but it's still hot. I know it's been sat in the French press for about 10 minutes, but it's still hot. It's drinkable. This is the temperature you're going to be drinking it at anyway, so there's no point rushing it, pouring it into the mug, for it to sit there in the mug. Right, let's get to the bottom of this and see if it's sludge free. So I've drank most of the coffee now, and I'm just having a look at the bottom, and you can see a little bit of a cloud, but it's nowhere near as much sludge as you would normally get. I don't know if you guys can see this very well, but I'll try and show you. But I'm just going to finish the coffee off now. And there you go. Clear as day. No sludge. It's almost as if it's been filtered. But we've used the immersion technique. We've kept all the sludge at the bottom of the French press. Now, I don't know. Do you think there's a better technique of making a French press? Do you have a French press? And what's your technique? Leave us a comment below and try this out for yourself. Let me know if this works for you and whether this will be your go-to method when making French press coffee in the future. And if coffee is your thing, don't forget, hit that subscribe button. Join us along on this coffee journey as we explore different types of coffee, different techniques, and different bits of coffee equipment. See you next time.